My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train 2, boom! Melting Remnant and, ooh, Lazarus League. These two work well together, and Life Mother's Pyre, I haven't had that in ages. Adds the option to copy cards to Merchants of Steel, Magic, and Trinkets. Of course, you have to pay for it. I think I may have only ever played with this when I selected it intentionally once, and I might have random it one time. We're rounding episode 95, 96, something around there, I think, at the moment. Wild. Seraph Eternus, Chosen of Entropy. Okay. 2 copies of Sanguine Assistant base deck, 1/1 size, grafted with the Vampire's Tooth, 15 damage equipment that gives lifesteal. 2 copies of Dripfall, a Descendant Daisy unit, both of those exceptionally good at dealing with a Seraph. And Paraffin Enforcer. On strike, apply Rage 3 to friendly burnout units. I've also got a Reki, 5 Dregs, and 5 copies of Secret Ingredient in the base deck. I do know what I want to do with a Reki here if I get the opportunity, and that is a Brewmaster build. Brewmaster would also be really good as a way to gain Reanimate to then throw on maybe a Extinguish minion from Melting Remnant. So it's Magic Remnant. I'm probably going Lazarus League Steel at the opener. Oh. Clan card drafts only offer rares is tough. There's a lot of very highly specific rare equipment for both of these clans. Do I want to start with that here? I've taken it so many times, by the way. So many times I've been in this position and said, oh, this could immediately screw me, and then I clicked it, right? So I'm not saying I'm not going to take it. But also, I don't have to. I've done it enough. I've done it a lot. Okay, so these are the rares that we would be finding consistently. I would love to see Big Sludge. I haven't seen Big Sludge in a very long time. Harvest Gain Rage 5. Granted, how do you do versus the speed of this game? I guess with Dualism, quite well. Legion of Wax I would like to see as well. Then Laz League. Yeah, all of the build-arounds are in here. The only thing is then the consistency that you provide to them isn't. There's a lot of things that would permanently gain additional stats. The sooner I get them, the better. There's also Fate's First Blade. Friendly units gain Rage 3 when they lose a stack of Burnout. Obviously, in a world where I'm running Paraffin Enforcer, if I have Rage and Burnout related on units behind a Paraffin Enforcer, like, I can definitely use this. Wear that Halo. Reki applying Unstable 4 to enemy units. Certainly not bad, but I really do want to try and run Concoction, because apparently I've never taken more than a single level in it. So saith the logbook. So we'll be Shield Steward, a Reki, then Paraffin Enforcer will throw additional dregs behind you. If I just brew like a big sap potion, I'm pretty sure no matter what, I end up defeating the boss. Sounds like a good time to me. Hold up. I do want the Sanguine Assassin to die this round, if possible, so if I throw you on midline, I can get that. Good. This way I can gain some additional health and damage on the Shield Steward. And hell, throwing another vampire down will allow me to get a damage buff for a Reki. So those plus the enfeebling solution, I'm pretty sure we just waltz our way through this. Yeah. With ease, I say. Alright, now let's see our rares. Give me a Legion of Wax. Legion of Wax round 2. I can do things with that. Electricity Chamber. I really have wanted to be able to utilize this much more than I've gotten to so far. Friendly units gain spikes 8 on summon and reanimate. Very good for giving slays to units that otherwise might not get them. Range transfer, obviously exceptionally good. Sacrifice a unit, transfer its damage stats. I want to take that Electricity Chamber. Combustion Suit, all of them are good. They're very good. But I do think that it'd be more fun to try and figure out something to do with the Electricity Chamber. See, there's the Sacrificial Resurrection, but I don't have a way to keep the Draft alive very well. I guess I could give it Reanimate. But also, it would be consuming all of the cards in my hand, so it would consume the mixture. So no, it would not be easy to give it Reanimate. Remove all burnout and debuff effects from units. I mean, I always do like having something like that. Sacrificial Resurrection is really good for thinning down the deck. But eventually, like, the deck is just 3 cards. And Sacrificial Resurrection. Why would I be bad? Why? I'm just hearing myself say, oh no, I would have very few cards. What are you saying? That's the best outcome. Yeah, I need a minion. I need some minion upgrades here. Okay. Okay, Smidgestone, Immortal Stone, Wickstone. There's a lot we can do with that. I mean, Test Subject Alpha has both Quick and Sweep already on it. That feels like a very good choice. It's kind of what the spikes do, though. It's plus 14 damage straight up. With the Test Subject Alpha. Boy, I don't know. Also, I have the ability to dupe cards already. What if I re-rolled here, looking for something more relevant? What would it even be? Dualism or I guess Large Stone, both for Quick Subject Alpha. Okay, so the next solution that I need to find is big damage. So this is for like a tech flaw, right? Where I might end up having like a big reanimation lab or something like that. I don't know. But this solves most of our range problems for a very long time. So then it's scaling damage against a single target. None of that is especially assisted by this. I guess Wickstone gives me the ability to give burnout to Paraffin Enforcer, so it would be applying rage to itself, but unfortunately it would then die. I leave with way too many resources still in my back pocket. Thankfully, the Test Subject Alpha is so powerful that Whoops. It's not going there. That I can afford to be a little bit greedier here. We'll add all of that unstable to this minion and then sack res the Vengeful Shard to get a single draft, which I guess I play? Yeah, on bottom line, we can kill the Fallen Champion. Sure. Prevent 2 of the incoming damage there. Sap potion. It's unfortunate. I was really hoping to find some additional regen for Areki, and I know I haven't seen that in a while, so I figured it was still in the cards. Trying to create a floor next floor where I can use the Vampire's Tooth for some significant impacts. So let's... Okay, that seems to break much more favorably. Finally, we see Electricity Chamber. A little bit light, I think. Well, ain't this a peach? Yep, we don't survive that. There goes the streak. Cool, whatever. Let's do it again. You gotta risk it, right? You gotta risk it. I mean, if you're gonna give me another Pyre Heart, yeah, sure, start me with a Pyre of Dominion. Remove Trained Stewards and starting cards, immediately draw 4 packs and double each card picked. 2 copies of Entombed Explosive in the base deck, which extinguish to deal 65 damage to the front enemy unit. 2 copies of Overworked Assistant, reanimate 1 already on them, incant gain unstable 4, and a Wickless Baron who will oversee all of them dying and go ha 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 and laugh all the way to the bank for a +5/+5. Eternus's Entropy. Let's go. Ooh, 2 copies of Horrify. Surgical Strike is also really good, so I can kill my own minions and then enemies with the Surgical Strike. Slay adds a copy of Ephemeral with Ephemeral to hand, which is also good for the incants on Overworked Assistance. Yeah, let's take Surgical Strike. I've never really gotten to use that as much as I wanted to. Sacred Wicks. Consume, report to random units. I would love to have some reform in this deck, but it's hard to turn down Mortal Entrapment. Deal 25 damage and daze 3 to an already damaged unit. It's pretty hard to do it, but not impossible. I'm taking Sacred Wicks. Hello again, Test Subject Alpha. Would you like to... Would you like to help make up for the last round? I don't know about this. I kind of want to go Makeshift Golem. I know Test Subject Alpha it makes so much sense, right? Quick and sweet. It's got the keywords. And I don't really have the ability to keep overworked assistants alive long enough yet. Makeshift golems. They're not bad. But I'm gonna struggle to use them space efficiently. Fine. Lady of the House or Paraffin Enforcer. Ideally not gonna use that much burnout here, so I'll take Lady of the House just as some big stat sticks. Dang. Unfortunately, I have missed out on the Brewmaster line. I can still take Mad Scientist. Incant, apply Unstable 4 to enemy units. So I want to incant with Surgical Strikes, which to me reads as give a bunch of Reanimate to an Entombed Explosive and then just Surgical Strike the Entombed Explosive constantly. Gaining that on Resolve was too slow. No, I'm gonna try the Incant line. First time you mix each turn, mix again. Or Artificial Firestone, 3 additional Deployment Ember. 3 additional Deployment Ember admittedly is really good here. That's just summon all of my minions. I'd love to have a mix build going on. If I had the Brewmaster, I think I might have taken the other one. Maybe. Stat growth and range is basically all we need. Actually, the overworked assistant can oversee that kill. Oh no. Of course it can't. Oops. I guess I could Sacred Wicks. There's really no point yet. Maybe the house is a good unit to get reformed because she comes back with 4 burnout. We'll be fine. Top line's got it. There's no reason I should be taking all of this damage to the Vengeful Shards. It's only going to be like 2 over the course of this battle, but I could have completely avoided them. Twisted Assistant for Trample is really good. Trample on a test subject alpha when it has quick and sweet. That's got to do stupid damage. Molded. I mean, Purifying Cleanse would allow me to keep a Lady of the House alive. Molded. Merchant of Steel with a Remnant banner in the second area, so Merchant of Magic Remnant in the first? I don't have to take that many units as well, because I did start with a lot more units than you usually start with. Interesting. I mean, I'm gonna take Wickless Tycoon because I know what's good for me. I would like money, and it is money. Let's give Surgical Strike a -1 cost intrinsic, and then -1 cost to the other Surgical Strike. I'd love to reroll and also be able to reduce their cost in general, but not possible, and there's nothing to double stack. Start a battle, enemy unit 3D. That's completely fine. Guess why? Guess why? All right. Get him, Surgical Strike. Absolutely clinical. Okay, looks like the overworked assistant's gonna explode, and we're gonna be taking out the flatulent on the bottom line. That's very important for the sake of the Wickless Tycoon. Oh no, they've reanimated with too much health. I need to get the +10 on Surgical Strike as soon as possible. They've come back wrong. They're unkillable. Nothing I reanimate will be killable by the Surgical Strike until it has a little bit more damage now. So I think that's Twist Assistant. Kill that, get the equipment, use Molded. I mean, I could... Nope, again, the Twist Assistant will come back with too much HP. I'll bring back Entombed Exclusive with Burnout, because it'll at least die at the end of the turn. And then Trampling Strike Rage. Good. Working out well, I think. Getting a lot of money out of that Meat Man. Meat Man, meat money. Yeah, our real threat is on the second floor, is that Wickless Baron. The only problem is, not as big as I thought it was gonna be. To be fair, I was killing all of the units on the line below them, so... who do I got to blame for that one? Okay, we almost kill Legion here, which allows me to know that I will be killing it on the next floor, so I'm going to take the opportunity this turn to burn out a Calcified Ember. Get him. A third overworked assistant? Surely not. And it isn't. Explosive reaction, though. 2 Ember, apply unstable 25 and deal 5 damage. Really good in a world where I am using overworked assistants. I just need to find a way to keep them alive. Pseudoscience does that so inconsistently that I don't think I use pseudoscience as the solution there. Would I ever be sad to have another entombed explosive? Ooh, but I have no drip balls. I'll regret not having a drip ball more than the entombed explosive. Also, both of those came with calcified embers. Sucks, but okay. Had to happen. So Merchant of Steel. Merchant of Steel with Dualism and Reanimate for an overworked assistant's great. Obviously, damage, multi-strike on subject alphas. Mini Stone on Wickless Tycoon, so I can put both of the Wickless on the same floor would be nice. Obviously, don't know what's in the Remnant banner just yet. I suppose there's a world where I could endless a Entombed Explosive. Yo! Hello, Big Sludge! I haven't seen you in a game. Get multi-strike Big Sludge. Get big Sludge. I'm going to take the opportunity here to reroll. I don't think any of these are of make or break importance at the moment. I suppose I can give a plus 14 to one of the test subject alphas without too much downside. And possibly even some additional health to Wickless Baron. Honestly, this is pretty much exactly what I was hoping to see. There is Quick now for the Big Sludge. So it can occupy the same line as a test subject alpha. And the two of them will project a bunch of far damage and near damage at the same time. It's real good. There's also a world where I make this one size instead. Artificial Firestone will make it a little hard to play, but there is a world where I could do that. One size, and then it's it at one size on a floor with a Wickless Tycoon and a test subject alpha, I guess. You save 2 capacity that way. All it needs is to have a defender, which currently is the Wickless Tycoon, but eventually becomes the Wickless Baron. That's better. Reanimate on an overworked assistant for another line. Burnout on a tomb just to get it to explode the first time I play it? I don't think I need that. I can just add it to a Lady of the House, though, to make you a bigger unit. And then Quick and plus 10. Honestly, I probably want something like Titanite on the... I don't need another Quick attacker right now, really. Interesting. I think maybe I shove 3 units into this one. And I use this to make the overworked assistant summon at the start of the fight. So, like, I fill it with overworked assistant, overworked assistant. And twisted assistant. So it'll just summon those for me, giving me a kind of incant floor. Reckless Tycoon, Big Sludge, Test Subject Alpha. Baron, Oreki, and then Jack in the Box at the very back, and then we can throw a single Lady of the House up on the top line. I would love to have some additional space to play stuff on that bottom line right now. Honestly, maybe capacity so that I can also throw a Wickless Baron down there makes a lot more sense. I'm honestly fine at the moment, so there's an argument that I just throw away the Calcified Ember and just let the good times roll. But I also want to, like, drop Entombed Explosive, kill Entombed Explosive, drop Entombed Explosive, kill Entombed Explosive, deal 130 damage to Archeon, then set up Sacred Wicks, and then do it again. Yeah, that's fun. No, I don't want you to... Look, I'm gonna do it once, and then I'll see if I wanted to stick with it. So we get you down to 500 health, 225 damage dealt to you on the first turn. I mean, realistically, I'm not going to do that again. It gets both of those in the Reform pool. I mean, Sacred Wicks pulls them back out, but at this point, Sacred Wicks pulls them out at too large. Honestly, I shouldn't do that. It's a fun thing, but, like, I get stronger in the long run in this fight. The enemy gets weaker, so I really should just play the long game. And again, same script. Ooh, Big Sludge is big mad. Now all I have to do is kill this assistant. Now you've got Trample, Big Sludge. If only I gave you Quick instead. Alas. Not what we did. Sad. Oh my god, the reformed version of the Jack-in-the-Box is ready to summon more units. I couldn't possibly. Wickless recruitment. Remove all burnout and debuff effects from a unit. Yeah, I might as well. At least the ability to remove burnout or corruption in later fights could be relevant. Out of these, I lean most towards Meat Hook. And that's just... a good reason. Some additional days. I have a lot of units. I don't have to take a unit in every position. And especially if here, I'm probably going to be going capacity first. Like my bottom floor becomes Wickless, Test Subjects, and Big Sludge. And then the second floor becomes Test Subject, Areki, and then all of those other guys. Honestly, I should probably get a Wickless Baron on that floor as well. But I'll take a Meat Hook instead. Talked myself out of it while I was talking myself into it. Merchant of Magic with the Lazarus League. You know what? Higher health. No, Buyer of Dominion, we're still... Wow, it's the 2 HP that I sacrificed in the first fight for no reason whatsoever. Back to haunt me. Brewmaster with small concoction. I mean, I'm not really doing a bunch of incant instability for the enemies, so let's make some concoctions. On deployment phase, draw an equipment card from your deck, reduce its cost to 0. I don't have anything to exploit that with yet, but I'll make something in the future. Equipping a friendly unit under half health applies 10 armor, otherwise it plays range 5. Those ones are more middling. Oh. Oh. Hello, Dominion. I will absolutely be taking this. I just have to figure out what I want with it. Apply melee weakness 1 and spell weakness 1 on strike. I guess that is really good on a test subject. But so is 10 damage and on strike apply corruption 20. Units never leave this floor. Incredible in relentless rounds as well. On summon, spawn a random friendly unit from your deck. Not especially excited by that. Sweeping through all the enemies with the melee weakness and spell weakness could be fun, but there's also... Big Sludge is the one that I would want to give trample to. I'm talking myself into dominating control and then having test subject. No, but the melee weakness would be exploited by Wickless Baron and Wickless Tycoon, the units that least need it. Unless I got quick on Big Sludge, but how am I going to do that with all of its size filled? I'm going to go dominating power, I think. Also, just a nice plus 10 damage for that unit that would really like to be doing a little bit more damage at least. Equipping a friendly unit under half health applies armor 10. Otherwise, it applies rage 5. I don't have any equipment yet. I have some equipment in the deck. No, that was the previous deck. But I am going to get equipment soon. Trinkets. Merchant of Steel Empyrean. Well, Alright, I'm re-rolling. On deployment phase, add a random graft unit to your hand. Okay. I'm not over the moon about it, but... Yeah, Twisted Assistant's pretty good to have early. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need to remove a Lady of the House if I'm going to get an equipment, because then the equipment will be pulled into my opening hand as well. Otherwise, I'm already at capacity. So, Test Subject Alpha, Big Sludge, Wickless Baron, Wickless Tycoon. All of you need to go on the bottom line. Then a Twisted Assistant, a Recce, and the Jack-in-the-Box go on this line. I can take someone stable, actually. I'll collect my Twisted back. There we go. Big Sludge is now ready to tramp L. Yeah, that'll do it. I don't even need to use the Surgical Strike again. And in fact, without anyone to benefit from Incant, there's no reason to do so. Explosive Reaction has Overworked Assistant, the correct card for it. Yay! But also, it's just going to explode 2 times and do nothing. Boo? How much does that matter when I'm already doing everything I need to on the bottom line? The scaling of Big Sludge needs to accelerate in order to keep up with the pace of the game, but we're pretty far from that. Gosh. It's a touch bleak. I don't really... None of this does anything. None of those cards will affect the outcome. And again. This one's gonna work pretty well, actually. I'm gonna take the opportunity to drip fall my meat hook. Grab another Twist Assistant, throw it on the top line. Nice. This allows me to daze the enemy, as well as pull them to the front of the line. Thankfully, all the enemies on the floor still die, so I will get all of my harvest triggers I want. Horrify, Retreat, Faulty Body. Ooh. I like Faulty Body. Fragile Spikes 40 to a friendly unit. Not especially good in this run where I'm already dealing that damage. Horrify, Retreat, apply Dazed 1. Just in general, nice to have more days rather than less. Acid Shower. Very little impact from that. Take a Horrify. Speaking of what I just said, let's take a Mortal Entrapment for even more days, especially against bosses. Merchant of Steel is particularly interesting to me because there's a world where, like, eventually I'm not going to want another Wickless Tycoon. Like, eventually the money doesn't mean anything, so suddenly it's much more impactful for me to have a second copy of Big Sludge on that bottom line. So that's an easy dupe target for me, but like, what other minion upgrades do I really want? Wickless Baron, something defensive like Titanite. Maybe Dualism on Meat Hook if I want to get really fancy with it, because it'll double the amount of days applied. The more I think about it, the more I think that Merchant of Trinkets is probably the direction I actually want to go here. Because I can get another Big Sludge at a different time. Merchant of Arms. I do need to go to a Merchant of Arms pretty soon as well. Am I doing that in the next round? So my next opportunity to dupe a Big Sludge is before Seraph. Can I deal with 500/500s in that midline? Depends how the next couple of rounds go, I guess. I think I need to get my second Big Sludge. No, my opening hand size. I guess I have to cut both Ladies of the Lake. Ladies of the House, rather. I really don't want to do it. I'm struggling against clicking. I have 500 gold. Why is it not a Merchant of Trinkets? Screw it, it is. Unstable explosions deal twice as much damage. Would be nice if it was relevant, but unfortunately it's not really. Cleansing Water, 50% chance to remove all buff effects from enemies. Nice sometimes. I'll take explosions deal twice as much just because it could become ridiculously relevant. Trial rewards are increased by 50%, is still relevant at this point. Definitely don't need Pincushion. Plague Doctor. I'm not especially good at giving damage to other units in this run. So yeah, you certainly don't come with me either. Boiler room mod on the first floor? Okay, yeah. That's all the energy I'll ever need. Or I could have Hef's Hammer, which I've never gilded Hef's Hammer. And this would be added to my opening hand and given to a unit, which would allow me to add additional capacity at the bottom line pretty easily. Let's do it. I can get wanting to put your own hands to use. Take good care of my baby now. I will, Hef. I will. I do still have to remove the Lady of the Lake. Lady of the House, rather. I don't really want to remove the second one. I don't need to yet. I'll hold up. The start of battle landing with sprint each floor, that's fine. Test subject Alpha. You're on the bottom floor with the Hef's Hammer. You will be slaying a lot of the time. That's going to give us the ability to play additional units down there on future turns, but for the moment, let's get a recce on this floor, and let's get a vampire too. There's the surgical strike that'll do all of the damage to all of the enemies. pretty sure. Wait. You want to get the trample material later. I think I can do this. Yeah. And that'll get the entire floor, and Test Subject Alpha will still gain 2 of those slaves. Hey, I even have space for another Test Subject Alpha if I want to play it. Actually, this turn I probably just want to play out the Calcified Ember and let it go. I'm going to max out floor capacity very quickly. Well, that'll work as long as they die. Nothing to really do with those. Jack in the Box on the top floor for no appreciable reason. Accomplishing absolutely nothing up there. Yeah, duping the big sludge 100% is on the cards. There's some lifesteal to keep the Wickless Baron constantly healthy. Areki, I could get a substance from you, but what if I just didn't? What if that just wasn't a thing I did? How about that instead? Allowing a Test Subject Alpha to die on the bottom floor here is really good, as it's just another harvest trigger for us. Yeah, Big Sludge was doing just under 300 damage per hit near the end there. Reanimation Lab, friendly hits gain +7/+7 on reanimated summon. Nice. No, not relevant. Replicate Array, consume to dupe unit. Eventually I could consume Hef's Hammer off in order to get another copy of just a quick striking Test Subject Alpha. The only problem with that is you're a lot better with Hef's Hammer on. Spike of the League. Consume to apply 1x reanimate 2 units. I think that is totally fine. Mortal Entrapment again. There's also Remnant Pact. Consume to apply endless to friendly units. Honestly, not necessary. Crushing Demise, kill a non-boss enemy and a friendly. I do have a free middle ground floor where this can just be used to pick off things that have gotten past me. However, I don't think that many things are going to get past me anymore, and I do think having another copy of Mortal Entrapment makes it pretty unlikely. Granted, I will need some additional energy at some point just for casting, so probably soon. Actually, I don't... This might be a bit daft, but I could make this equipment more powerful by merging it with something else, but I don't know if I would be gilding Hef's Hammer or merged equipment if I did that, so I'm not going to go to a Merchant of Arms. It's also worth noting, I would really like to go to this Merchant of Magic. Double stack a Mortal Entrapment or Spike of the League. It's got to be the Mortal Entrapment. -1 cost intrinsic. Or, I suppose, Horrify. Plus 10 magic power absolutely on our intrinsic Surgical Strike. -1 cost on probably the Mortal Entrapment that's already Had a little cost reduction. Reroll. Spell chain, you say? Spell chain Horrify certainly seems good. -2 cost consume, probably good for a mortal explosive reaction. But I will say, a mortal entrapment could easily hold that too. And then if I consume remove you, you're insane. But right now, you're just fine. I probably have a lot more days than I need. In fact, I definitely do. I'm also going to give consume ephemeral gain for surgical strike. Permafrost. This isn't bad for like Wickless recruitment or Spike of the League, just so I can hold them for exactly the right time. I'm gonna use it on Wickless recruitment. Yeah, there's not that many cards to remove from this deck. I'll take out a Test Subject Alpha, because it's very expensive, I can't afford to play it, and if I ever add another card to my opening hand, I would like not to screw myself. Actually, speaking of, immediately I'm confronted with the fact that I believe our dupe is Big Sludge, which entreats me to remove another card from the deck. Also, I'm probably going energy after this fight, which is fine. Non-negotiables, Wickless Tycoon, Sludge, Sludge, Test Subject Alpha, and that. I will play the Wickless Baron there as soon as I can. Just stop them all from attacking. Don't let them attack. Nice. There's Entombed Explosive, and here's the Spike of the League for you. Actually, I'm gonna summon a Twisted Assistant and take you out. Give the trample damage to the Big Sludge. It's 24. It's not going to be able to take out many units, so I should leave the rest of them. That's fine. Got all the money I possibly could have wanted. Hey, and now we got a Wickless Baron down here to defend them all. And just in time, Meat Hook. Today's the big bad boss. And there's a free Entombed unit to let die on the bottom line, as well as block some damage for us. Bad luck, buddy. I know you wanted to play this game, Kale, but that's not the future I had in mind for you. So you'll be dazed for the next 9 turns. I think this is a perfect opportunity to play out a Calcified Ember. Nice. Good floor capacity. Yeah, I think that'll do it. We've reached the 7-unit limit. Where's the capacity limit? Can I get to go all the way across the screen? I'm just throwing those cards away. They are utterly irrelevant to this run at this point. Okay, certainly seems like it could get larger. Well, that's some good money. To 565 by the end of that fight, having spent almost all of my money before going in. Dome of Horrors, Sacrificial Resurrection, and Spike of the League. Sacrificial Resurrection, so I can get rid of the Vengeful Shards and the Blights that the bosses give me. Hell's Flame for the ability to play additional things on start. Is that really that relevant to me? I do think Draw is good. Do I need the additional Deployment Ember? I really don't think so. I'm taking the draw. Especially because both of the mortal entrapments just got cost reduced pretty immediately and severely. Do I care about finding a room and putting him over the hand? Yeah, a lot of harvest-related things would be good, but there's not that many in this clan combination, unfortunately, despite the fact that you'd really think that... Well, I mean, obviously, Melting Remnant doesn't have that, and Lazarus League is on Reanimate rather than on Death. Honestly, Merchant of Magic still has a lot. Consume removal. Double stack. Cost reduction. Okay, it doesn't have that much. I guess I could also make Hef's Hammer manually deployable and then find equipment, merge those together, and then pull that out with the attuned whetstone. My opening count is now 1. I mean, Wigless Tycoon gets cut like right before the Seraph fight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then added to hand is my 10th, the Parts Factory. So yeah, I'd still have to remove a Wickless Tycoon before I could be consistent. The upside's so narrow. Medium concoction, I get to mix twice? Oh, if only you told me this sooner. I mean, we'll remove Consume from the Mortal Entrapment, but that was being planned the whole time, to be fair. Spike of the League. Let's give you a Holy Stone, because I can. -2 cost gain Consume for Explosive. Save us a little more money. Sure, you can gain +10. -1 cost Intrinsic. and Holdover. Holdover Sacrificial Resurrection allows me to just, like, thin my deck down to exactly the couple of cards I want to be consistently playing, but those are basically just going to be days cards. Realistically, I just want to have this every so often to get curses and blights and such out of my hand. So just... just zero cost all my spells, basically. And then hold over on Wickless Recruitment. Because when I do play it, I'm going to want to play it constantly. Interesting. I thought this was the event that was different if you had full HP. I thought it turned into an event where they allow you to donate Pyre HP in order to gain artifacts. Oops. That's clearly not what this is. Dang. I do think that Savage Spirit probably needs to be changed. I've talked about this a little bit before, but it doesn't seem like the design of Monster Train 2 really supports keeping a unit on middling HP for any significant period of time. This is extremely niche. Like, if you want to use this, you're almost certainly better off having just used Savage Heart instead and permanently gain rage every time the unit is struck, right? Like, if the unit is capable of losing HP and you want damage on the unit, you'd way prefer the permanent version of it. And the version that allows you to still heal the unit and keep the damage, whereas Savage Spirit obviously loses the damage as soon as it goes, as soon as you heal. Or at least that's what it implies. And then Savage Skin, absolutely by and far the best. Savage Shackles is going to make deployment phase a lot harder if I take this, because it's a deployable. I can't take that. Not only is it a deployable, so it adds to my opening hand, I also have to play it before I can play anything else. I'm turning down that event a lot recently. Front non-boss enemy in each wave gains reanimate. That's beautiful. I'd love them to. That's 2 more times I get to kill him. Double-edged barrel. Cool. Whoa. Hold up. Gonna get sludgy. Sludgy. Testy half. I mean, ideally, I do just let Test Subject Alpha still get the kills on all of these because it allows me to keep the Wickless Baron. It's difficult to move Wickless Baron to the front of the floor. In fact, it's impossible for me to move it to the front of the floor. Actually, I will kill... so that I can still keep my Slay trigger. They're dealing 12 damage to the Wickless Tycoon? Oh, right. There we go. Forgot about the reanimate. I want to be able to play Wickless Tycoon next turn, but it's just not going to happen. Guess I'll take the opportunity to get rid of that card, and that'll be it. Good calcified Ember to play out there. Oh my god! Yay! I was hoping I'd get something like this. There's the collector, gives me 100 gold. Time to give it Spike of the League! Now you can die 5 times. And you will. Mark my words. Surgical strike. Surgical strike. Surgical strike. Surgical strike. Got him. These are not cards I want to burn out of the deck with the Sacrificial Resurrection. These are the cards I want to burn out of the deck with the Sacrificial Resurrection. There we go, regen and reanimate. I'm literally just letting these overworked assistants hang out with Areki. It's just... that line is uninvolved in this gaming. Might as well make space on that floor for Meat Hook. Yes, I think I can deal with 500/500s now. Just slightly, I think I might be able to. I keep this bad boy dazed forever, by which I mean it's time to kill him. And that'll absolutely do it. Woohoo! I can remove the Wickless Tycoon now! Now I don't need to play it anymore! Also, that's a lot of gold to go into the last area with. What if I just gilded the risky operation here? Reduce a friendly unit to 1 health, apply plus 10 damage to lifesteal 2. Sure. I'm going to take a Crushing Demise just in case someone gets past me and that mid line is open. There's so little I can really do at a moment. Wickless Baron for a defensive. Yeah. Gain 5 Ember when a tomb unit dies. Nice. When you play 3 different kinds of card in turn, draw 1, gain 1. When you play a unit after deployment, random card in hand is reduced in costs. At the start of the turn, fully healed champions. I'll take all of those because I have so much money I don't really need to check what's in the other shops yet. Tight Knight. Cool. That's going to go on Wickless Baron. Remove from deck. Hold up. We'll use the free removal first. That's got to get the Wickless Tycoon. The money means nothing after this point, so get out of my opening hand, buddy. Meat Hook is going to be good for dazing units in the next fights. This is going to be good for removing curses and such in the next fights. I think that's a reasonable argument to make that, like, Jack in the Box shouldn't even be summoned in the first place on the top floor. It doesn't do anything. It's just a zero cost chump block, summons chump block, summons chump. But it dies in the first round if I appropriately use it as a chump block. Realistically, the top floor does absolutely nothing. So why is so much of this deck dedicated to the top floor? I still want Twisted Assistant to give me the right equipment. I think I can remove a Sacred Wicks. It's eventually just Entombed Explosives, and the Entombed Explosives it gets are fine. Yeah. Multi-strike's a toughie. None of these really especially benefit from it. Reduce to capacity size 1, sure. And reanimate, that's screaming out to go on a Entombed Explosive. I don't think another big sludge really changes our fortunes on that bottom line. I think pretty much all of the Titans are going to be perma-dazed, just with what our deck is already capable of doing. I think there's a world where I could argue a second copy of Wickless Baron just have more defense on the bottom line seems good. Or maybe even second copy of Wickless Baron goes on the top line to help defend. It's really not going to be relevant. Fine. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10th is our random graft unit. Yep. All right, we're set to go. I don't want Breath of Heaven, and I guess I can, Jack in the Box, you are now plus 14 damage, and also you attack at quick speed. Get him. The fastest Jack in the West. I'm gonna horrify you twice. This bottom line is already gonna take care of itself. And I really do need all of the slays on test subjects for the appropriate growth of that floor, so you'll also get that strike. And then entrapment. Entrapment. I'll molded to get nothing. I'll drip for you. And then I'm gonna Sacrificial Resurrection just to get rid of the Entombed Explosive Vengeful Shard there. Areki gives Rage and more Rage. Both of which I will throw on our bottom line. So that's 11 turns of Dazed on Seraphiternus. Okay, I think that's going okay. I can kill my own Twisted Assistant on the bottom line. I'm also going to be claiming your Silence unit first. Hell, I have another Twisted Assistant that I can also claim. Getting another trample piece of equipment. Throw Meat Hook up on the top line. Take another turn of free dazing. Explosive reaction. See what the Sacred Wicks have got inside. Ah, it's 2 burnout units. Interesting. These ones go bottom line. Just the Sacrificial Lambs that give additional harvest triggers. Yeah, this is pretty brutal. Get a second Wickless Baron on the bottom line. An Entombed Explosive, and then I'm going to hit that with a Spike of the League to give it 7 reanimate now, actually. How dare you go up there seeking relief? Get dazed. And again. And again. And again. And again. Alright, that's 20 turns of daze. Excuse me, I stuttered. I meant 23 turns of daze. I think it went okay. Up to 25 now. There you go. Lifesteal your way back to full, Areki. Get him. May as well summon a draft to that floor also. I can remove all of the burnout and debuff effects from a unit. I just don't want to. Also, I could do it to the boss, which I absolutely don't want to. Oh my god. Alright, 36 turns of days I think might be just enough to get over the top of them. Actually, you know what? No, I'm still scared. I need to make it even more. Sap him too. Nope. I mean, I know there hasn't been a patch since, but the draft is still not doing the right thing. It loses its additional damage from Sacrificial Resurrection as soon as it's resurrected. It shows that it has the damage while you're molding it, or reforming it, but as soon as it's back, it loses that damage. All right. I do think that went well. No more days. There we go. No more days. Just 46 turns of it. The big slimes are punching for roughly 600 damage apiece. And that's a piece of each of their 2 shots, so 1,200 in a single round of combat each. That one being for each of the slimes. They've got one fist of iron and the other's steel, and if the right don't get you, then the left one will. So I kind of want to daze Dominion, but also the fastest I will be able to kill Dominion is with Pyre. So I kind of really shouldn't. You can immediately get dazed, not a problem. I'm gonna go risky operation on Test Subject Alpha as well, just to increase your damage range. The Surgical Strike sets up a Mortal Entrapment, 7 more turns of Dazed on Savagery. Unfortunately, I cannot Daze Entropy. Fishing for Sap and Melee Weakness is the best I can do there. Sap and Melee Weakness on Dominion potentially being great. I'm going to keep Savagery Days so I just don't have to deal with that. Blight. Areki thankfully full heals at the end of every turn, but I can't rely on that for that long. Just Assistant Defense top line, Doomed Explosive Defense bottom. We throw Highlight it directly at the boss. Rushing Twice can't really do too much here, but I could play Entombed Explosive and then play it. Ooh, yum. All of that additional energy. I absolutely shouldn't do that yet. I have an X-Cost left in my deck, so leaving a Entombed Explosive to die at the end of the turn is going to be really helpful. I need to play them in the original order, unfortunately, otherwise I don't get to play them. I guess, is that not... I did that? Oh, yeah, and then I played a spell. There we go, that's how it went. Yes, yes, yes. I'll use Wickless Recruitment to remove the corruption from Wickless Baron, and I'll remove it from Areki next turn. I don't need a second Wickless Baron on the bottom line, to be honest. Top line can have one. Hell yeah. Molded to bring back Reanimate and Burnout, Entombed Explosive. That's going to do so well on the bottom line. Bottom line, that's going to do incredibly well for us. And I'll just keep Savagery mortally entrapped. So Enfeebling's Infusion is currently fishing for Sap and Melee weakness. I want to amplify both of those for Dominion. Melee weakness. Every turn of Melee weakness just saves us a full turn of combat. Against them. Entombed Explosive on the bottom floor. Then I'm going to give you Big Spike at the League. Great. Now, I could sit here and just explode you constantly. Does that help anyone? And that guy, then lay a Curse of Entropy, gives me a mana so I can play another Twisted back for even more trample and damage. Oh my god, wait. Encased Ember. Gain 5 Ember when a Tomb unit dies. This is a Tomb unit, it died. Extinguish. Triggers on death. The unit has died. It's... Resin block. Reanimate. It's clear that Melting Remnant and it's clear that, like, it feels like, at least to me, they designed 5 clans for Monster Train 2, and then at some point someone was like, do you reckon we could retrofit the clans from number 1 into this? And then they did that afterwards. That they were not designed to work in tandem appropriately with one another. Obviously, the Lost Arsenal update upcoming to address some of this, the fact that there's equipment and rooms missing from previous lines and things like that, but also mechanical interactions that just do not work together. That, at least how the text is written, absolutely should. That and Resin Block especially come to mind. Alas, it's still cool. It's just not absolutely ridiculous like I wanted it to be. Bah. Welcome back, Sacrificial Resurrection. Happy to see you. Let's see what Sacred Wicks finds, though. Oh. The very burnout unit I was looking for. I don't think I need to Surgical Strike any of those right now. Let's go Wickless Recruitment. I can't dripfall savagery as much. I don't super care about Dominion either. So what? Am I sac-resing nothing, I guess? It certainly seems to be it. I could also just throw savagery back down to this line, trusting that I will get to do some damage to it. You know what? Fine. Yeah, I push 1,000 damage against it. I get to do a little bit of damage, guys. 97 round. I don't know about that. We'll see. More Pyreside. More. Another risky operation right there. Remove the corruption from Wickless. Play Crushing Demise to no benefit on the midline. Because no one's getting that far. I'll take all that rage, please. That's entropy down this turn. Savagery's already down, so yep. It's pretty much just waiting time. Next turn I play Firelight, and then when the turn ends, so does the run. Big, huge sludges. Realistically, Hef's Hammer allowing us to actually play additional units on the bottom line, allowing us to chump block for the Wickless Baron, definitely ended up being very relevant. Wickless Baron's on half HP. Ridiculous. Wickless Baron would actually be benefiting from the Savage Heart at the moment. Not Heart, Spirit. Spirit. Of course, would have benefited a lot from Savage Heart. Alright. I think that's about all they wrote on that one, and we just let it go. Oh, wow. We guild 4 cards? Damn. Guilding a lot of cards recently. To be fair, I'm also piloting a lot of runs recently that are so powerful I can choose to just take cards that I want to guild. Only one more clanless card that I have to guild. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head which one that is. I can tell you we got a new personal record for days applied at 108. Far better than our previous best of 63. And then harvest triggers, 858 of those. Previous best being 722. Yeah, having 4 harvest trigger gaining units on the bottom line alongside a quick sweeper who deletes every unit will do that. I want to just very quickly see. Show me clanless. Which of you is not gilded? it's going to be a piece of equipment, isn't it? Oh, I already know what it is. I'm not going to click the next button until I tell you. It is Dante's spell. It's the thing I never take from... Yeah, there it is. Dante's Inferno. 2 Ember Piercing consumed. Deal damage to all enemy units on all floors. Equal to 10 times the number of Dante's candles in the deck. There's certainly worlds where I can take that. I just haven't done it so far. Give me another Dante run, game. Hopefully tomorrow. Until then, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content on the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations are down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out of all the thank you and special thanks this episode to Jazzy. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see you all next time.